Hey Deja, can you come here please?
Raw State, a conversation on self-reflection and growth stimulated by mindfulness.
I want to show you something. Look over there.
Yep.
You see that? On the ground.
The receipt?
No. The black thing's crawling all over the place down there.
The ants? Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I don't like it. No, that makes me kind of uncomfortable. That's why they're like getting in our hair and stuff.
So, you know what I initially thought?
What did you think?
The exact same thing as you. But then I soon flip this up and see this thing going on. There's a trail. So what are these ants always after? Question mark.
Food?
What do they eat? What is their food?
Sweets?
Sweets, sugar,
Yeah.
right? So we have a trail here. The reason why they're here is for food more than anything else. Like, I don't think they have another resource that they need other than food as a societal thing. So there'd be no other reason why they're here. So then there's trails down underneath the cracks, right?
Yeah.
And I was thinking about how the guy living in this room before, he would eat like a lot of toast and like sugary things and stuff like that. So potentially a lot of that material fell between the cracks. So what these ants are essentially doing is cleaning up the house when you really break it down. If they're just walking in and taking stuff out of the cracks, that's kind of an interesting relationship. So in a relationship like this, you understand how they function. So for instance, if you don't like them crawling underneath where you have the bed, you could start to erase trails chemically. Remember how we were wiping it the other day and it would like confuse the shit out of them.
Human eyes can see in the light spectrum, but this is only a tiny portion of the electromagnetic spectrum. There are things happening all around us that we are oblivious to, but other creatures are equipped with different senses, which allow them to perceive the world arguably in the most optimized way for their lifestyle. An ant can't see, thus can't appreciate the beauty of a mountain view. Yet we will never know how it feels to communicate as an ant, to lay a trail to the teapot, to follow in the chemical wake of another member of our colony. I just had to narrate this part because I said like far too many times to edit out or sound intelligent. But let's get back to my curiosity.
What do they see as they run? How narrow is their vision of sight? Because to run and have a finger width drawn in front, disrupting them where they can't see beyond, it's like, whoa, they're very short-sighted creatures, potentially, like in physical terms. Mm-hmm. You could really train a species like this to work with you, and by train it, all I really am implying is that basically these guys could be almost like pets, where you could get them to clean your house of crumbs and such things.
Yeah, as long as you have your food off limits.
Oh, completely. Yeah, and I think really a lot of that just has to do with mindfulness more than anything. And mindfulness of the physical world, so that you're aware that you're not spilling honey over the counter, and if you do spill honey over the counter, that you're wiping it up and not ignoring it, right?
Mm-hmm. Or leaving, a spoon that stirred tea still has honey residue on the counter or something,
mm-hmm.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, so it's really just training human beings and being mindful in essence.
But most of us are so irritated by our own reflections that we can only lash out and point fingers when someone calls us on our own issues. I can point to the ant and easily convince myself of their short-sightedness because they can't see that their trail continues on the other side of a chemical smear the width of my finger. But it's much harder for me to objectively observe myself, to take responsibility for the mess that I'm leaving behind.